Hello, I'm Sheila, and welcome to my anxiety spiral. I have spent the last several months wanting desperately to go on a bike tour. And now that time has finally come, and I am panicking. My brain is just full of these anxious thoughts. Where am I gonna sleep? What am I gonna eat? And this is as somebody who has bike toured before. I've literally bike toured solo for months. And yet somehow, here I am, the night before I'm planning to set out, completely convinced that I cannot do this. And that's when I remembered I should probably slow down, take a deep breath, and take my own advice. Which is that when things feel really scary, just focus on trying to do the bit in front of you. And right now, that is packing. So I'm just going to go through the motions of getting packed. And if when I finish packing, I don't want to go on this bike tour, I won't go on this bike tour. But for now, I'm just going to figure out what I would need to pack for this hypothetical bike tour. Packing in this case features a steady mix of diligent item collection, minor mental breakdown, more item collecting, some questioning of whether I'm capable of anything at all, and a pump-up breakfast dance session to keep me from complete mental collapse. But somehow I do end up with all my things collected and packed relatively neatly into my panniers. Okay, so that's done. So now I guess I'll just scout a few camping options, go to bed, and see how I feel in the morning. Good morning. I did not sleep well at all. I was very anxious, very busy mind. But I do have a day of wiggle room. So let's take some steps today and see how we feel. When I start to notice myself being really anxious like this before an adventure, I try to not let everything feel overwhelming, and I try to pinpoint what I'm actually most anxious about, which I think in this case is camping. And I realized I think that's because on my last bike tour, I got pretty spooked when I was camping, and I think something inside me still feels really unsettled from that. So, whereas logically I know there are lots of options and I can figure it out, my emotional brain feels really scared. So I'm gonna keep looking into some accommodation options that I might feel good about, but I also have an idea about something else that might help. So let's go do that. When the idea of bikepacking solo feels scary, I like to surround myself with the stories of others' epic adventures. This time, it's Dervla Murphy's 1963 solo expedition from Ireland to India. I have heard such great things about this book, and I cannot believe it has taken me this long to pick it up, but I cannot wait to read it. I spend the rest of the day putting the finishing touches on my bike, with the help of a little duct tape, preparing food, and researching a variety of sleeping options. Sometimes I'm all about just picking up and going. But when the panic comes, I find a little bit of prep work and a pinch of inspiration can go a long way. In the morning, the excitement overtakes the fear. I think I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. I think I've got this. I think I've got this. And I make it out the door. A quick test of my fully loaded bike, which, yes, I probably should have done sooner. I think it'll work. And it's off to the train. I haven't even gotten to my destination, but I can feel my excitement growing. I can't believe my luck when at the last minute my friend Ian is able to meet me at the train station to start my ride with me. Not a minute passes riding along the trails with Ian before any anxiety I felt completely disappears. I feel joyful and free, just out riding my bike with my friend. When the time comes for Ian to return home and for me to continue on solo, I wait for the panic to return. But it doesn't. I stumble across a cute museum and get to feel like a traveler in a town just a few hours from my own. I continue on riding and the feeling is overwhelming. I am so happy. I was so scared. And I'm just so happy. Like, there's nowhere I'd rather be. In all my anxiety stuck between four walls, I forgot there's something magical that happens on a bike tour. My instincts take over for me. Suddenly, I'm finding my route. I'm fueling myself. I'm scouting sleeping options. The verdict is in. I'm pretty freaking capable after all. And after all that fear about where I would spend the night tonight, I just checked in at a campground. The woman was absolutely lovely. She even gave me a security number in case I need it. And the gatehouse had candy. Like, what was I even scared of? Man, our mind can play crazy tricks, eh? Alright, as much as I love candy, I should probably eat more real food. So, gonna set everything up and eat some dinner. Though you wouldn't know I'd ever set up a tent based on how unsmoothly this goes. I definitely did something wrong. It may not be graceful, but we get the job done. As I set up to eat my dinner by the lake, I'm struck by something. I knew I would forget something. Gas. Okay, not that, something else. Cold food ain't so bad. When I found myself feeling anxious the other day, I wanted to hide it. I wanted to make a video showing that I'm brave and fearless and always up for an adventure. But I'm not fearless. I have a lot of fears. What I've come to see is that I only have this one life. And it feels an awful shame to spend it not having the adventures I dream of. You wouldn't know it from the yawning, but I actually had an incredible sleep. So even though it may be scary at times, I'll keep nudging myself forward. Because moments like these, they make it pretty freaking worth it. Hit subscribe to see how the rest of this adventure goes in the next video. A big thank you to all of my patrons. You can support the channel and check out the director's commentary for this video over on Patreon. In it, I share my route, exclusive behind-the-scenes moments, and more. Thanks for watching, and happy adventuring.